Hi, this is Amrita Sukumar, and I'm bringing to you this podcast called Unsettling. Look around you. Everyone is trying to create their own story. Make a tiny change in someone's life by just following their passion and in turn, inspiring the others to follow suit. This podcast brings to you stories of people who have defied the definition of settled set by the society and have created their own. They have found happiness in their version of settled. What is yours?
Following the path is quite easy, but it is difficult to take the road not taken. My next guest not only did take the path unknown, but she has created quite a niche for herself in the world of child photography. She has the skill not only to click adorable pictures of babies and their mommies, but she also has the skill to keep them smiling for the photographs throughout. I have with me my next guest, the founder of MOMMY SHOTS by Amrita, Amrita Samant herself. Hi Amrita, how are you?
Hi, Amrita. It's kind of funny to actually call you by my name, but so happy to be here.
It's going to be difficult today because they will have to guess who is who. Both are named Amrita today.
That's true.
Yes, so I would just like to tell you and the audience that we both have a lot of similarities. One, we are both named Amrita. We both have the same initials. And you're a North Indian settled in South India, and I'm a South Indian settled in North India.
I know this is going to take an interesting
This
turn
is
today.
quite incredible. I read up about you and I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God, there are a lot of parallels between her life and my life. So I feel like a tiny celebrity now.
There is no celebrity in this conversation. Please don't do
Yes,
that.
that's me. Thanks. So, Amrita, let us begin the episode with your journey so far. I watched one of your TED Talks and I know that you are an epitome of unsettled. Could you please share that story with the listeners as well?
For sure.
Yeah.
My TED Talk was possibly my most nervous talk ever, but I'll make it a lot more fun and quicker here.
Okay.
So, like I was born in the South, and I am North Indian. So I had kind of like the best of both worlds, the
Yeah.
food from both worlds, the upbringing, the cultural enlightenment, all of that. Now, while growing up, though, I think some things stayed the same for both you and me in
Yeah.
terms of what could we do professionally. And the options are pretty obvious at home in terms of why don't you take up science, why don't you take up, I don't know, become a lawyer, or just anything that's safe, secure, and reliable. But I had a completely different notion growing up because I think at the age of 5, I was put on stage by my teacher, and it was a silly dance. We were wearing red paper skirts and just shaking our hips because what else can we do at 5, right? And then ever since that, I realized how powerful a performance can be, or I understood what the power of being on stage is and what performing meant to me. And ever since that day, I would volunteer to be on stage for anything at all. And I can't sing to save my life, but I would even try singing. I would do anything just to like sort of find myself as a performer. So my entire school life and college life was spent more on extracurricular activities than academics, though I was pretty fairly okay with it. But I loved my extracurricular activities. I was very involved in the whole thing. So over time, I realized that this is what I want to do. And how could I possibly do it? Can I become an artist? Can I become, maybe a professional dancer, an actor? All of which was rejected very quickly within the family, saying, oh, no, these are not secure enough. These are not reliable enough opportunities. So don't even bother exploring it. And I get it. I mean, each community has its own values and ideas about each profession. So at 17 and 18, you don't know better. So you sort of just go with the flow. But what I realized over the 7 years of work experience I gathered while working as human resources is that every time I finished work, or every day I finished work at 6 or 7, I would be out at some rehearsal studio or dance space or the other, trying to find my true calling, trying to explore different creative opportunities, something that would let my creative juices flow or just let me be a performing artist. I did this for 7 years and I realized that I need to address it. This is not normal. And I won't be able to chase 2 rabbits the whole time. So
Okay.
I finally stumbled upon photography after exploring 9 other different creative career opportunities. And I stuck with it and decided to combine babies and photography, which was literally a brainwave that struck me one day. So, yes, long story short there.
Oh, quite interesting. But then I have this query for you, because since you have been good at everything that you did, there were a lot of skills that you were good at. When did you feel that photography is something that you wanted to do full time? What helped you zero in on it? What was your thought process?
Well, after exploring 9 other opportunities, like I told you, right, and those
Mhm.
stemmed from writing for magazines to Zumba instructing to at some point I was thinking about becoming a whitewater kayaking instructor. Even I was going all over the place trying to figure out what I could do
Okay.
professionally.
Uh-huh.
And when I stumbled onto photography, it started out with a really good friend of mine who is a wedding photographer. I assisted him on the field, did a couple of weddings, learned a lot more about photography, the different perspectives around it. What stuck with me was two things. One, it was a beautiful medium for expression.
Okay.
You could express what you want through photographs. And the second thing, and the more important thing, was the fact that I understood very quickly what the power of a photograph is. And once you figure that out, it's really hard to delink or unlink yourself from it. So that was the hook for me, and that's when I jumped in and decided to take up photography. Only thing is, I was sure I didn't have the patience for adults, and I just wanted to work with kids. So I continued with child photography at that point.
Oh, but that is quite the opposite of what people say, right? Like, children are quite difficult to deal with. They're quite impatient, and you don't know what is going to happen next. It's quite unexpected. So, how do you deal with that, and how do you still get a photograph that is that memorable? How do you do that?
Okay, so I think I mean, now in retrospect, I can tell you this, Amrita, is that when people say that, with kids you need a lot of patience, that is
Yeah.
true. You do need a
Uh-huh.
lot of patience because you can't have them follow your instructions per se.
Yeah.
But I feel like those who say that are just people who haven't really understood how to communicate with them.
Hmm.
And I think, anyone who specializes with children will agree with me that they communicate so beautifully. They are so smart. They are so intelligent. And it's just about whether you're ready to listen.
Yeah.
So honestly, over the years, I think I've honed those skills with a lot of research, studies, trial and error. Just the experience of working with so many children has taught me that they're so amazing to work with because of the energy and the positive aura they come with. So it's definitely a lot easier working with them.
Okay, I will have to believe you, because my nephew is quite naughty. So, but I just am really curious that one, you create such beautiful, picturesque themes, and I've seen that you literally create bundles of joy, where you have the tiny newborn in your bundle. So, how do you come up with these themes? Do you just go with your props there and then decide on the spot that this is the lighting and this is the theme I want, or do you have everything prepared in advance?
Oh, well, see, honestly, while I'd love to take credit for everything I do, I should tell you that the concept of newborn photography already
Yeah.
existed it existed in the West. When
Okay.
I started in India, there was literally no one else doing it, although I looked far and wide to have someone to discuss my challenges with. So the concept was very popular in most other countries. And so I did get myself trained by a whole bunch of photographers through the
Oh.
years, to sort of get better at what I do in terms of safety certifications, how to pose children, how to handle newborns, soothe them, wrap them, all of it,
Oh.
something I picked up along the way. And then over a period of time, when you're confident enough, you improvise and start creating your own themes, start creating your own, color palettes and looks that you can possibly claim as yours. But
Wow.
so there was a lot of inspiration I drew from a whole bunch of photographers in the initial times, because I was so new to this world. But over time, I think when you understand what a child's capable of in a shoot by just interacting with them in the first 20 minutes, you start tuning the entire shoot to what the baby will be comfortable with, and then work your looks around that all the time. To put it in short, every single shoot is different from the previous one. And every single shoot is a creative boot camp because you're under pressure to perform within the time the child gives you.
Right.
And you're coming up with things on the go. So I think every photographer getting into this will just get better with time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's quite
Yeah.
interesting. I did not know. I mean, I completely forgot that you have to handle the child properly and you have to wrap them, soothe them. So, did you have to train for this properly, or this is something that you learned on the go?
So I definitely did some trainings initially, especially with
Okay.
newborns. You have to do a safety certification, so you know how to handle them well. And these are specifically for newborns, right? For older children, it comes with understanding their characteristics, their traits, what they're capable of at that particular age. And then there's a whole science to it, because for every age group there is a different mindset you approach the shoot with. And I'll get to that a little later. But for newborns
Okay.
specifically, yes, formal training required. And I did plenty of those. I still continue to attend workshops because everything, everyone teaches you something different. So
Correct.
you just keep that mind open and absorb what you can to get better.
Okay, this is quite interesting. So, this is one query that I wanted to ask you. Did you have to take a formal training in photography? Is it necessary to take a formal training in photography? Because this is a question that comes up every time. Now that there are a lot of YouTube videos and online courses that you can do, is it okay to do that, or should somebody go for a formal training for this?
Actually, you know what? I haven't had formal training myself.
Okay.
Although in retrospect, I wish I did, because I spent, I did a double master's in HR and then
Yeah.
7 years of work experience in HR, and I'm landed up with photography. So I would have used that time really well. But if you have the option, I think it's always good to get formally trained. Having a
Okay.
strong foundation just makes you better and equips you to move faster and accelerates your growth as well. But if you don't have the option, if it's like if you want to switch careers a little late in life, you can always learn on your own. And yeah, like you said, we're spoiled with resources online. We're so spoiled with the amount of information.
Yeah.
Everyone out there is willing to teach and educate. So it's up to you, but absorbing, and not
Mhm.
just absorbing, but also going out there and practicing, because that's the only way you'll
Yes.
validate how much you picked up.
Yes, you have to put the theory in practice because it is not possible to learn it by rote and just going and shooting with your camera, for sure.
That's right.
So, Amrita, what were the challenges that you had to face when you transitioned from a corporate life to the life of an entrepreneur? And also the challenges that you have to face now on a daily basis?
I could use the next 2 hours of your podcast with that question. No, but
I
every
don't
single
mind,
day
you
is like
can.
I'll avoid boring you, but
Okay.
every single day is filled with challenges. And every shoot is a challenge by itself, because, like I said, every baby's different. The entire approach to the shoot becomes a challenge. What the baby reacts like is a challenge. So it's that. Let's park that daily challenge aside. But I think the biggest mindset transition that I had to go through was assuming I'm becoming an artist when I quit my corporate life. And then I was in for a rude shock, because I realized, hey, I'm not just an artist. I also have to be an entrepreneur, because this is also
Yeah.
a business. So
Right.
it took some time adjusting my 9 to 6 work time to a 24-hour work schedule, because you don't know when to stop. So that took some time, and it was really rough. I can tell you that for sure. I was all of 27 and a half when I started this, and I had
Okay.
no idea when I should stop working, when I should develop a routine, and what a routine meant in when you're working in a new business, because your hustle is 200% more than regular, because you just got to make sure things work out and you're not left out in the cold with nothing. So
Yeah.
those were the initial challenges. And
Uh-huh.
then over time, it was the second big challenge was about how maternity shoots and newborn shoots, something I was really excited about and looking forward to introducing to India, because like I said, there were very few people doing it. But when I started out, there was hardly anyone really catching up to it. So coming back to it,
Yeah.
breaking the taboos that are associated with maternity and newborn shoots back in 2014 was possibly something I didn't foresee and I had to face. When I realized how many people were saying no, we don't want to capture our maternity phase or our newborn below 15 days of age because, the evil eye
Yeah, there were some
being
cultural taboos. Yeah.
absolutely, or it was just a safety based thing. So
Mhm.
my challenge at that point was, how do I educate everyone that, hey, one, it's a great memory to sort of document, and you don't have to go public with it. You don't necessarily have to put everything online. Two
Correct.
was giving them that trust factor that, you can trust me. I'm not gonna work with you just because I want to publish your pictures. Second, sorry, and the third thing would be educating them on the processes and the methods to handle a newborn, the safety and hygiene involved in it, and give them a lot of behind the scene videos, footage, whatever possible information I could in whatever mediums um, that existed, to say that this is what a newborn should looks like and this is what the outcome looks like, and these are memories you definitely want to take because kids grow really fast and you don't want to miss this stage.
Yeah.
So that challenge was huge, and it took a while to sort of overcome. But
Mhm.
now, thankfully, the whole thing's a huge trend, and
Yes.
everyone's open to the idea. But I still think there's a small segment of people who still have those reservations, and I respect them now because we have a really huge market. We're a
Yeah.
populated country.
That I completely agree with. See, if one disagrees, there's always 10 others. So that is the beauty of living in India, for sure.
That is true.
Amrita, I just wanted to know, did you ever have self doubt? Because, you were starting out, it was quite new, you didn't know which direction it will go. Um, did you ever feel that fear? And how did you deal with it?
Oh, I wish I could say no. I wish I was one of those really smart, sassy, confident women out there who says, no, I'm sure what I'm doing.
Okay.
Unfortunately, no, though, because day one
Uh-huh.
until very recently, every day was, filled with self-doubt. Can I do it? Do I deserve it? Am I worthy of it? Am I smart enough to answer those questions? Am I smart enough to even go live on Instagram and talk to people? Am I do I have enough experience? I think those are very innate to how you're raised. I think, I mean, if I have to put things into perspective, right?
Yeah.
And I've always been raised by a family that's told me you can do anything you want to. You've got the confidence, you have the smart spirit. So I've always been encouraged by my immediate tribe and family, so that has given me a certain amount of confidence to take the plunge. It was just about the acceptance of failure that I think I picked up while working in a corporate, and I had some amazing bosses who had my back no matter what and would nudge me to take chances. So I
Right.
take the chances, but I still have self-doubt, and overcoming that really just comes with facing your fears. And this is actually one of my most, sorry to bring it up here, but it is one of my most recent podcast episodes where I talk about facing fears and some outrageous things I've done in my life to face those fears. But
Okay.
I love this question because it applies to everyone.
Yes, I will check it out definitely because I have been following you on Instagram for a very long time, and I see that you keep on posting reels where you talk about your real life, like you talk about the other side, which nobody sees, and
Yeah,
that is quite interesting because people never talk about their failures. They are not comfortable talking about their failures, which is so important to let others know that it's okay to fail and it's okay to rise up from there. Because if you don't fail, you will not know what is going wrong and how to fix it. So
that is really true. And I just have one more point to add there about the whole online existence and how everybody is putting out their, putting their best foot out there, their best
yeah.
space out there, and the best times out there, right? And I think that's good. It's a feel good factor. You want to share it with your community, your followers, or your friends even. But the reality of handling a business on your own, the challenges that are associated with it, and the failures that come with it are real and should be spoken about, which is why I'm trying to sort of put the word out there. If I had less self doubt, I'd be sharing more stories. I'm slowly breaking out of myself. But
I'm
here's an
sure.
interesting thing.
Yeah.
So sorry, just to finish that one.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thing a good friend told me uh,
Uh-huh.
a good friend told me once, is that in this profession, you lose lots you win some. So you got to
Right.
be prepared to lose a lot, but have just a few wins. And if you operate with that mindset, you don't mind knocking on 100 doors before, someone accepts it.
Exactly. I'm just going to plug in my podcast here as well. Please do listen to my podcast for that very reason. I'm trying to promote this, and at the same time, go and listen to Amrita Samant's podcast as well. But that is what I was saying, that since that you have come on my podcast, I think you will be a little more confident to share your own views after this, hopefully.
That- That's very true. I'm so scared to talk about these things on my own podcast, but I'm very happy to talk about it here.
Yay! Finally, I helped somebody. I feel really nice now. Amrita, now after facing a lot of challenges, you have setups in Chennai, Bangalore, and Singapore. So, how do you juggle those?
Um, I'm actually trying to figure and structure my answer because my life is so unstructured because of all these locations. I was born and raised in Chennai, but I
Yeah.
moved to Bangalore about 11 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of why I set it up in both Chennai and Bangalore, because these are
Okay.
cities I'm familiar with. The network is huge in both of them, and there was great demand. And the cities are also in close proximity, so it just made business sense from that angle. And I split my time between both of these cities equally over the last 7 years. Crazy would be an understatement, or not the right word to describe it, but it's been crazy not only because of the business in two cities, but I also traveled to other cities as well in India. So Hyderabad and Bombay are huge markets as well. And then the tier two
Okay.
cities in India as well are like places we go to. So do we travel across India? Yes, we do. But the Singapore part came in because I was getting a lot of requests from, friends and family I knew who are from
Okay.
India but live in Singapore, and they wanted to shoot there when they go there on vacation or because the locations there are nicer. And
Oh.
over a period of time, I realized that, hey, if I were to do business there, I'll have to do it in a proper manner. So I registered a company there and sorted myself out with all legalities, and then decided to pursue the business there too. And I think that was possibly one of the best decisions I made, because it is absolutely amazing to shoot there. The locations are beautiful, but also I've been meeting the most amazing people from across countries for this job, and it's just as much as the travel is a pain, I really really enjoy it, and I really enjoy meeting families from across the world. So yes, it's crazy, but it's fun.
I think that is the most exciting part of your job, that it's unsettled, it's unstructured, and every day is a new day. You don't know what is going to come next. May it be with the photo shoot, may it be with the location, you have absolutely no idea. And that makes it more exciting.
I think you put that together really well for me. Thank you.
So, Amrita, I have one query for you. How are you managing now with the entire new social distancing norm?
um, Honestly, when the whole city locked down, or when the country locked down, I was like, somewhere inside my head, I'm like, oh my god, I'm actually going to get a break, right? And
Yeah.
because I'm a typical type A personality, and I'm constantly working,
Oh,
but
God.
I really thought this would be time to catch up with everyone and everything else. But um, as soon as work stopped because of the pandemic and the lockdown, I found other ways to find work for myself. So, what I did is I've actually spent the entire lockdown creating an online resource for photographers. So, I've been an educator in photography for the last couple of years, and
Okay.
I conduct workshops across. So, this was my chance to create this online platform to that would be filled with resources like how-to guides, ebooks, online live classes, pre-recorded videos, to teach them everything from A to Z of child photography and the business of child photography. So I spent all those months creating this online school, which has been, on my to-do list for the last 2 years. So this was a perfect opportunity. So I really used that time well. And yes, I think I really miss going to the studio and meeting babies and working with them. But I think come June, early mid June, I started work again. Things opened up in the city, and the only thing that's hampered business is the lack of travel. But there's enough work in the city itself, so things filled up very quickly. So touch wood, that
So
business
yeah.
came back, has resumed to normal, but just with a lot of sanitization protocols in place to keep the whole thing extremely safe for children and for us. So yes, I mean, work's kind of back to normal. Although it's pretty scary with the given situation, but yeah, I think 2020, while it has been catastrophic in so many senses, personally, within my own isolated space, I think I used this time really well.
That you definitely have, because I checked out your blog and it is quite interesting. It is very to the point, the kind of information that you're giving out, so that anybody who wants to go see it, they can definitely go through it and understand it. Even a layman can understand it. So
Thank
that is quite interesting. And I also read this one point, Amrita, that you also teach photography to new parents so that they can use their smartphones and also click their own, I mean, their baby's pictures. So where did you get that idea?
Okay, yeah. So I'm glad you asked me this question. I'm super excited to talk about it because I'm super passionate about anything related to photography for that matter. But
Okay.
here's what I was trying to do, right? I mean, every time I meet parents, the two things I keep hearing from them is that, we look forward to our milestone photo shoots with you. So basically, milestones are, bringing the baby in for their quarterly milestones, like the first month, third month, sixth, ninth, and 12th month. These
Oh.
are all major milestones in the baby's first year. So parents do come back to me 3 or 4 times in the first year itself and get photos done. And they look forward to it because that is where they document their the baby milestones. But I did realize that sometimes in between phases or in between milestone shoots, there are so many moments a mom or a dad sees on a daily basis, and they can capture it on their smartphones, but they don't do the best job at it. While some do, some are not fully equipped to do it. So the idea stemmed from there, and I've been on this mission for the last a year to share whatever knowledge I have with smartphone cameras and teach parents the best use, or rather how to use their smartphones to the best value and get some beautiful memories in. So I give them ideas on how to set up different props that are lying around the house to make better compositions, to shoot their children better in, or to document their children better with good light. I teach them how to use the different features of their particular smartphone, and I've been doing this through workshops online so far, and I did maybe 1 or 2 in-person ones as well. But right now I've actually been creating content for a massive module on smartphone photography for parents, and that should be launching around November and December first week. And the content's free, so everybody can get to use it and learn from it. And I'm really hoping to take that places. I'm really hoping to change what it means to take photographs at home as well. So nothing's really missed, and they have some amazing memories for their kids later.
So you're teaching the person how to fish rather than just give them a fish to eat.
Pretty much. I like how you put that. Thank you.
I've just been creating analogies to whatever you're saying. So yeah.
This is great synergy between us. I love it.
Yay! So I just wanted to ask you one thing. I mean, I've been asking you a lot of things, but then this is something I wanted to know. You have an all-women team, if I'm not mistaken. Can you tell us more about that? Why this decision?
Okay, so this whole idea of just recruiting women into the team was, I mean, I didn't start out with the mission of, okay, let me only hire women. But over time, I realized the value add because in my own journey, there were lots of crossroads where, I felt like the opportunities for women in the creative field were definitely lesser. And I mean, I will state it that we're still a minority in this space, which is so male dominated. That is, the scales are slowly tipping. Yes, completely agree. But we're definitely still a minority compared to men in the field. So I just thought about, hey, what if I were to open these opportunities more for women,
Yeah.
so as to enable them to do or to grow in this space, right? And touch wood, by God's grace, the business picked up over the years, and uh, I think there was great potential for me to hire a team and grow the business. So that's when I decided to, okay, let's do it this way. Let's hire only women and take it from there. And right now we're a 7-member strong team, and without whom I cannot do anything. I'm so grateful to these girls who are really strong women in their own spaces and add so much value to making the brand what it is today. However, it does not mean that I don't entertain any male profiles that apply for a job.
Okay.
That's changed, but I definitely want to keep it. Keep. I think the ratio is a little higher for women joining the company. That's really the reason why.
Okay, okay. Quite interesting. Thank you for creating job opportunities for women for sure. And I also had one question related to your logo. So your logo seems as if a child has scrawled "mommy shots with Amrita." So where did you get that idea? Is it something that you did on your own?
Oh no, well, the idea was was mine, but it was executed by a really good friend of mine,
Okay.
who's quite the genius at design, and I've got him to thank for it. But I just wanted the entire logo to be very relatable to mom seeing it, and I think it really best describes what I do in terms of working with children. So yes, I wish I could take 100% credit, but no.
Okay, I thought it was your idea, so I was about to give you 100% credit and say that, oh my God, it's so amazing.
It,
But
it really is.
you've
So
done half of it. It's actually interesting because, that is the one thing that catches your eye. When you just see the logo, you know that, oh, this is like a scroll and exactly depicts what you are trying to give the customers. So kudos to that idea for sure.
thank you.
So, Amrita, what is the one thing that you keep doing every day to keep yourself relevant to the ever changing field? Hello, did I lose you?
You haven't lost me. I'm thinking.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know it's an
you
audio podcast.
um, I live such an unstructured life. I do have a fairly decent routine, but I'm thinking about that one thing that keeps me or that makes me stay relevant to this world. Honestly, the hustle required to run a business, I think this is something I got from my parents. I'm from a family of entrepreneurs. So I think I've got this hustle from them. And if it weren't for the hustle to actually succeed or to reach a level of excellence, I don't think I'd be doing what I'm doing today. That is staying ahead of the curve, staying on top of things, constantly improving myself. I don't believe in competition, even though it may make me sound very snooty. I just don't believe in competition. The competition is really with me and about being the best version of myself. So I think my uh, standards for myself are so high, and I'm never there. And even if I get there, I'm never happy. So it's not a good thing. It's definitely not a healthy mindset, but that's what really helps me get out of bed every day and take challenges that come to me.
Okay, coming to almost the end of the interview, I would like to ask you what is the message you would like to give an up and coming photographer?
One, I'm really sad it's the end of the interview because I've had such amazing set of questions from you. It's really
Yay!
made me think on the other side. But yes, coming to your actual question,
Yeah.
I have a very simple, obvious answer. Even though it's obvious, it's most often overlooked, which is if you're an up and coming photographer and if you know this is the space you want to specialize in and grow within, I think it's really important that you understand how much effort you have to put in, how much hard work there is to it, which means picking up your camera every single day, getting out there and shooting in every kind of situation. Um, I keep hearing excuses about, oh, I don't have the same camera as you, so my pictures are not going to be as good, or I don't have this, or I don't have that. Yes, I think we can all complain, no matter where we are in life. We can all complain about what we don't have, but I think it's about really thinking or thinking positively about what you have. You have a pair of eyes, you have hands that function, you have legs that can take you places, you have a camera, any camera, even a phone camera is enough to get out there and make beautiful pictures. And that's the second thing I want to lead to, which is if you want to be a photographer and if you want to be known, you want to have people notice your pictures or appreciate it, it's not about the hullabaloo online. It's not about social media and the popularity there. It's about how good those pictures are, how meaningful they are, and what purpose or intent you're shooting them with. All of those factors have to be keyed in. And at the end of the day, producing good work. That is, work today should be better than the one you shot yesterday, and tomorrow should be even better. So, constantly improving your work is the only way forward for any photographer, I guess.
And those are quite interesting themes to leave the people with. I think, I hope they will act upon this, anybody who is starting out. But there's this one question I want to ask, which is unrelated to your journey. Amrita, who clicks your pictures? They're so flattering.
Okay, so I I get extremely controlling. I get my team to shoot, but you should ask them about it and they'll crib to you how I actually get them to sit in the position. I take the photograph and then I show to them and I'm like, take the exact same picture.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yes, I'm that difficult. Otherwise, because I think I know my angles best and I'm so controlling. It's horrible. It's really bad because I talk about creative liberty all the time and I really trouble my teammates about it. So there you have it.
No, I can imagine because I was expecting that there was a professional photographer at the behind the camera, but this happens with me as well. Or I think this happens with everybody who is a little decent enough photographer, that they click good pictures of others, and when it is time to get their own pictures clicked, it's a mess. And
Absolutely. It's like,
that is why I have to click my own pictures.
absolutely. It's like, let me check my picture. Oh no, I'm not happy with this. Move it this way, a little higher, a little lower. It's all those instructions, the usual Instagram drama, even with my own
Yes.
pictures.
But they're beautiful for sure. All of them, like all of them. I have
Like,
stalked you on the internet to prepare this questionnaire, and I know that all your pictures are really great.
there's also Photoshop. Don't forget that.
Okay, you didn't have to say that on record. Oh God. So, Amrita, coming to the final question, what does the word settling mean to you?
I'm actually the wrong person. Sorry, I'm actually the wrong person to ask this question to because I've never found myself to be settled, and it's one of the reasons why I was excited about being on this podcast. The term "unsettled" is so me, and I mean it with a very. I mean, it's a very positive connotation to it as well, right? Which is being unsettled also kind of implies being out of your comfort zone and trying to find the space that you can call settled. So this entire journey of mine from my student life to my corporate job to owning a business, being a photographer, trying to be an artist, has the entire journey has been unsettled as ever, and that's what has really contributed to making me who I am today. And today I can take a little pride and say, I've understood my priorities in life. Kindness, generosity, having a big heart are more important to me than reaching a specific, professional goal. So all of it has contributed. So I love the word unsettled for that reason, because it's the constant unsettled feeling that has brought me here. And I don't know if I want to see myself settled right now, at least right now.
Okay, so stay unsettled. That is actually the thing that I am also propagating. And that is what the other Amrita is also saying. So yeah, this is quite confusing. Both the Amritas say the same thing.
We're so in sync. I love it.
Yes, that is so true. So it's the end of the episode, Amrita.
I'm sad. I really enjoyed questions.
Me too. I'm sad as well. I had a ball talking to you. It was quite interesting, the conversation. And you are also so energetic and, I mean, excited and passionate about your life that it translates in the way you speak. So,
Thank you for that, Amrita. Honestly, some of your questions are so thought provoking. I think I'm still going to be thinking about them after this podcast and really trying to find the true answer, not the podcast answer to it.
okay. When you find the answer, do let me know as well.
I will. I'll call you back. Be like, abhi record karo.
Ha, chalega, done. We'll do that. So thank you so much for coming on the podcast and sharing your journey with me. You are an inspiration for everyone who wants to follow their dream. And you freeze memories with time with your skills, and they're a beauty to look at. I feel really blessed that I could be a small part of your journey. And thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you, Amrita. Really, I really enjoyed this entire chat. It was a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to listen to all the future podcasts as well.
Yes, I have a dedicated follower now. I'm really excited.
All right.
Okay, Amrita, thank you. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Hi! If you can hear this, that means you have reached the end of the episode. So like, share, subscribe, follow, stay tuned to Unsettling. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can always reach out to me on my Instagram page, Amrita Sukumar _unsettling, or send me an email on podcast.unsettling.as@gmail.com. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye.